Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. I just had, before this stream, fun time unboxing a bunch of gifts sent to me by one of my subscribers who works for Benefit Cosmetics. And I applied one of the lip glosses or the lipsticks that she gave me. And I really like it. It's like it's a matte finish with, I don't know, it's buttery. So, and nude. So I like that. So thank you. And it wasn't a sponsored gift, just so you know. So, we have some news out of Hawaii, which has been a story that we've been following on this channel. A lot of you guys have been asking for an update, and I said I just didn't want to do anything until there was something more official, because there was lots of speculations going on, a lot of information that was coming in, and there was just so much coming in all these different directions that I didn't want to add to the media circus that was going around this and lose focus of what the story was about. And so I decided that until something official happened, I wasn't going to talk about it. And then yesterday, something very official happened in Hawaii with Chad and Tylee Daybell. So if you've not known the story, it's kind of a doozy, but Tylee and Chad Daybell are newlyweds. I want to just show you a picture, because you wouldn't think that newlyweds would have such a cloud around them, but they do. I gotta push this up. So these photos come courtesy of KSAZ, which is an ABC affiliate in Arizona. It's in Phoenix. And here are Chad and Tylee Daybell. They're married on a beach in Hawaii on November 5th. And their wedding was captured by a photographer who took over 700 photos during that day. So during the ceremony, they danced and did vows. Chad played the ukulele while Tylee hula danced. They danced in the sand before they got married, and they looked like this loving couple that was just desperately in love with one another. A photo of the ring that he gave her, photos next to the ocean while they're getting married. You can see that she's got a little bit of a train coming off of her dress. These two look like they don't have a care in the world, and like they are just desperately in love. But we didn't know that at that time they were hiding a secret. And that secret was that Lori's two children, Tylee and JJ, had not been seen since September. And there has been this crazy whirlwind story with so many twists and turns. Her 7-year-old son, JJ Vallow, and her 17-year-old daughter, Tylee Ryan, are last seen last heard from in Idaho in September. She pulls JJ out of school in September. She was previously living in Arizona, and in July of 2019, she is going to go have her soon-to-be ex-husband, who she's in the middle of a divorce with, is coming to pick up JJ, their son that they adopted, who is her ex-husband, or her husband's great nephew. And so they adopted his sister's son's child, if that makes sense. So his grandmother is actually his aunt now. Weird, right? But JJ's adopted by Tylee and Charles. She also has another daughter, Tylee, and then an older son named Colby, all from different marriages. She's been married 5 separate times, and she and Chad had met when she became sort of obsessed with these books that he had written and this sort of thought process that he was doing. So yesterday, they haven't been seen since September. There's been a lot of press about where are they? In January, the Rexburg, Idaho police went down to Kauai and issued a warrant for them to basically bring the kids up to Rexburg. They had 5 days to do this, and she missed that deadline. After missing the deadline in January, like nothing happened. So people were just like, what the hell, Idaho? What are you doing? Why aren't you going to get her? Because she was in contempt. She didn't go there. She didn't turn over the kids. There's no idea of where the kids are. They initially told authorities that the kids were in Arizona, which turned out to be false. When the Idaho people come knocking in November to do a welfare check, they're gone. They're not there. The next day when they come to execute a search warrant, they flee, Chad and Lori, and then they turn up months later in January. They find them in Hawaii. So they look for them, search for them, can't find them. They're finally found in Kauai, Hawaii, like nothing's going on, like no care in the world. So the kids aren't turned over. She's in contempt. So for 3 weeks, people have been like, where is she? Why isn't anything happening? What is going on, Idaho? Why aren't you doing anything? So finally, yesterday, they post this, which says, the Kauai Police Department arrested 47-year-old Lori Vallow, a.k.a. Lori Daybell of Idaho, on Thursday in relation to an investigation being conducted by the Rexburg Police Department. Vallow was arrested on a warrant issued by Madison County, Idaho, and is currently being held in KBD cell block on a $5 million bail. That's huge. Her 2 children, 17-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old Joshua JJ Vallow, have been missing since September. Vallow failed to comply with a court order to produce her children before authorities on January 30th in Madison County. She has since been charged with 2 felony counts of desertion and support of dependent children. She has also been charged with arrests and seizures, resisting or obstructing officers, criminal solicitation to commit a crime, and contempt of court, willful disobedience of a court process or order. First of all, we wish to thank the public and the massive outpouring and concern regarding this case. We also want to thank everyone and their patience while investigators worked diligently to comprehensively gather everything that they needed in order to obtain this arrest warrant. In December 2019, Rexburg PD requested KBD's help in locating Vallow and her husband on Kauai. KBD subsequently received an affidavit requesting assistance in securing a search warrant, which obtained by the 5th Circuit of the 5th District Court in Hawaii in connection to Rexburg PD's ongoing investigation. On January 25th, police presented an Idaho order to Vallow to produce her children before authorities in Madison County. On January 26th, KPD served a search warrant related to Rexburg PD's investigation on the rented vehicle occupied by Vallow and Daybell, as well as the condo they were renting in Princeville. And Vallow will now attend a hearing in Kauai. Date is yet to be determined. While she will have an opportunity to waive or fight her extradition to Idaho. Once in Idaho, she will face her criminal charges. The children were last seen in Idaho, and there's no indication that they were ever in Kauai. There are currently no criminal charges against Vallow on Kauai. Questions directly related to charges would be made to Rexburg PD as they remain the primary investigative agency. So finally, the charges that she's charged with apparently each carry a maximum of 14 years in jail, so 28 years if they run concurrently. But it's an indication that it's only the beginning, because once now she'll likely be in court today, where she will be they'll start the process for extradition. Now, according to everything that I've read, the only way that she could fight this is by saying that she's not Lori Vallow Daybell, which is impossible. She's Lori Vallow Daybell. So she can fight it, which could take a while, but ultimately she will go to Idaho to answer to these charges. And then once in Idaho, they can subsequently start getting into a position where she's in custody, and they can actually start asking her questions where she has to talk to them, because thus far she has not cooperated whatsoever with anyone regarding this case, has not answered any questions about where the whereabouts of her children are. And then there's all these other people that are no longer here that are also a part of this case. So you have her husband, Charles, that's no longer here. You've got Tammy, Chad Daybell's wife, that was suddenly gone in the middle of the night. You've got her brother, who has an altercation with Charles, that is gone in December. They have Rexburg police actually issued a search warrant on a storage unit in Idaho in November. And in the storage unit, they found a ton of belongings of the children's, which is troubling, like bikes and clothing and blankets and photos and all kinds of stuff that they would need if they're, theoretically not, if they were here, right? And then they go to Hawaii and they actually find Tylee's phone with Lori, which is, again, a 17-year-old girl that doesn't have her phone. One of Tylee's friends received a text message from her, which she said she told authorities didn't actually sound like Tylee at all, on October 25th. So Lori has her cell phone. All of their belongings are in a storage unit. The kids are not with them in Hawaii. They haven't been seen in Idaho since September. Chad Daybell at one point is heard telling someone that Lori Daybell doesn't have any children. So it's all sort of a mystery, but it's and so many people have been going nuts because it's like, why haven't they arrested her yet? Because these kids have gone missing. Well, they finally have, and it sounds like if they can continue to get answers, some of these other questions can start to get figured out as well, because they exhumed the body of Tammy Daybell to figure out whether or not, if Chad gave her anything that would suddenly make her no longer breathe. They also are reinvestigating the accidental self-defense issue with Charles Vallow in July, and they're also investigating the sudden passing of her brother Alex Costas in December. So there's 3 adults that are gone. There are 2 children that are missing. There's a couple that have this wild belief system that the end of time is coming, and they are the chosen ones. And Lori has gotten really invested into the beliefs of Chad. Chad has ultimately become sort of this cult fixture and leader of this thought process. He's written multiple books about, near-death experiences and prepping for the next coming of Christ. So it's a lot, but it sounds like we are getting steps closer to finally figuring out what happened to the kids. So she's expected to be in court later today, according to East Idaho News. And it's not, I don't know what she's going to do. The bail of $5 million is a lot, but this family does also have a lot of money. It's according to a former FBI agent that spoke to, I believe, a news outlet in Arizona. They said that it's likely the bail was set at this point because they do have a lot of money, because there's probably a lot more to this than what they've currently been charged with. And Chad Daybell, I should note, has not been taken into custody. So that doesn't mean he won't, but he was detained for a short period yesterday. He has not yet been arrested. But the focus right now seems to continue to appear to be on JJ and Tylee. And then once I think that aspect is sort of figured out, or maybe they get a better idea, they're still waiting on results from the exhumation and the autopsy of Tammy Daybell to determine what, if anything, was caused for her passing. And then there's the other 2 examinations that are going on with the other 2. So with Charles and with Alex. So there's a lot here, and it's going to probably just get messier and messier and messier. But the grandparents that have been diligently fighting for them and trying to figure out where these kids are were so elated to find out that she was finally in custody, and are hopeful that they can finally get some answers about where the children are. Okay, you guys, so that's all I've got for right now. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave some comments below, and I will be back in a little while with more. Bye, guys.